You look at that map and that space in North and Central Asia and you think, empty. It was always empty. But 40,000 years ago, people were out there. Small bands of them, hunters chasing big game across the snow in a land with no mercy. The winters were long, dry, and cruel. And still, people were there. We loved challenges as a species. Malta Buret, a name that sounds like bone and cold wind. Wide landscape, west of Lake Baikal, along the Yenisei River, and to the north, the shore of Laptev Sea, close to the Arctic Circle. The name of this culture comes from two villages, Malta and Buret. Malta itself is by the Belaya River that flows into Angara, which runs into the Yenisei River, 100 kilometers from Lake Baikal. Malta was uncovered in 1927 by Mikhail Gerasimov, a Russian archaeologist. He is in Russia what Henri Breuil is for France. His discoveries at Malta changed what was thought possible. The people of Siberia had created a culture as rich and complex as of those of Paleolithic Europe. People dug there, year after year, 30 years of frozen ground. The tools they found were old in style, their forms belonging to an early age, yet their simplicity held something deliberate. The usual scrapers and burins found elsewhere in Siberia were missing. In their place, an art that spoke in silence, unique, distant, and solitary, as if the land itself had shaped it. This culture in Siberia, quiet now, it was full with people trying to keep warm. People dug there, into the earth, building houses out of mammoth bones and reindeer antlers. They covered the frames with skins and sod, fighting the cold north wind that want them dead. Inside, they carved. The place had layers: soil, clay, silt. Some houses were round, small, holes and skins, fire in the center, always fire in the center. Homes out there on the edge of the world, where the wind never quit and the snow never left. Rings of stone still mark when the wall stood, 4.5 meters across, limestone slabs driven into frozen ground 25,000 years ago. In the middle, a fire burned, the heart of everything. Other houses were dug in the ground, half buried, walled with bones and stone, antlers for strength, roofs of hide and wood. In one of them, researchers found 4 little figurines, 3 lying close together, as if someone had placed them there gently and never came back. Beside it, a pile of things they left behind: bone knives, jade flakes, pieces of ivory. They were bigger houses too, long, cold, and quiet. Winter homes, the researcher said. The people threw their waste down the slope toward the river. Even that mess told stories: broken tools, bits of ivory, burnt wood. The Ice Age art stretched far and wide, painted walls in France and Spain, carved figurines that still hold their secrets across Europe, all the way to Siberia. I made an episode about statues of women in Europe. Please check it out. Anyway, among these statues of women, the so-called Venuses, fashioned from the ivory of the mammoth, form reduced to essentials: breasts and hips, fertility embodied in 87 millimeters. These figurines stand as if to remind us, even in the bleakest of winters, humans dream of mothers, sisters, daughters, wives. We don't know what they were, we only assume. As I said, please check the episode that I made before. In Malta, there were 29 figurines of women carved from ivory, very small, portable, carried around. Some were broken, some whole. Most were cut from mammoth ivory, a few from reindeer antler. They weren't all the same. Some are stretched and delicate, others heavy, solid, as if made to endure. Few had faces, unlike in Europe, hair etched into tiny crescent lines. Were they idols or dolls? Nobody knows. They say that Malta figurines were goddesses once, symbols of fertility. They called them the mothers of the Ice Age. But then Dr. Lyudmila Lubova came along and she looked closer. With her microscope and camera, she saw something buried in ivory. These were not naked women at all. They were clothed, wrapped in fur, in leather. Some were men, actually. Some teenagers, maybe even children. She found lines too fine for the naked eye, hats, bracelets, little bags, even what looked like a backpack. The hands that carved those figurines knew their people well. They didn't carve myths, they carved memory. The faces are strange. The heads rise straight from the body, thick with hair or hoods. No swollen bellies, no impossible curves, just the human shape as it was. Flat stomachs, small breasts, plain hips. The arms lie close to the body. A few have even holes drilled through the feet, maybe as they could hang around the neck or arm wrists. The statues of women figurines are very different from those in Europe. My favorite statue is a statue with a leaf on the right. It has a hole drilled in the base so that it could be worn as a pendant. The hands are joined and the figure has what appears to be fur hood over the head. And the figure has what appears to be a fur hood over her head. The legs are shown meeting at the base of the figurine. Below the arms is what appears to be belt, consisting of a linked discs. I want you to hit that like button like your life depends on it. And if you are not subscribed, please do. Thank you. An artist took ivory and cut the shape of a mammoth. Small, polished, around 8 centimeters. Maybe the artist was thinking of the hunt, of a dream, who knows? And then there were these birds, swans, ducks, carved so fine you would swear they once moved. Some hung from strings, maybe children wore them, maybe they were charms, nobody knows. But you can feel it, the care, the love of the shape, of the line, that need to make something. That's what art is, right? Not glory, not worship, just a memory, catching the moment forever. They had no lamps, only flame from the open fire and patience. They found a plate cut from the mammoth tusk, polished smooth, a hole right through the center. On one side, 3 snakes slide across the ivory. Snakes in the middle of Ice Age Siberia. What were they doing there? The lines show wide heads, cobra-like creatures that belong to warmer lands, far from the frost and the mammoth. Maybe the artist saw them once, like that in Shulgan Tash, walked thousands of kilometers, saw them once, came home. Inspired by the snake, the artist carved them. Or maybe they were not snakes at all, but rivers winding from melting glaciers. On the other side, spiral circle out of the center hole. Who knows what it meant? An ornament, a pendant? Leave a comment. In the north, where ivory was plenty and days were long in summer and short in winter, artists carved little figures, birds, seals, dolls, not idols, toys for the children. Maybe they trade them for a button, a needle, a smile. They were always children. They were running around, laughing, freezing, falling down, kids being kids. These dolls, you can see love in those clumsy cuts, the way a father's hand makes something for a daughter. Maybe these Venus figurines were not goddesses, not symbols, but toys, little things made in warmth and laughter. These people lived by river. The wind here never stopped. They carved what is needed from bone and tusk, spikes, scrapers. They work with what land gave them: flint, quartzite, reindeer antler, mammoth bone, a blade fitted into bone, a burin into horn, kind of innovation that born from hunger and long winters. Each piece bore the marks of care, lines and cuts arranged in quiet patterns, maybe decoration, maybe ritual, maybe just the way the artist passes time before hunt. They made things of beauty, hairpins, bracelets. They found a grave under a tangle of reindeer antlers, 41 centimeters deep. Stones were placed on the edge, like some side of a guards. Between them, a flat slab. On it, a tooth of a mammoth painted red-brown. And beneath all of that, a child. 4, maybe 5 years old. The little body lay on its back. The bones were stained red, bright as blood. Around the child, beads, pendants, a bracelet carved from mammoth ivory. A small life was wrapped in art and fire-colored dust. Later, they found it wasn't one child, but 2. A newborn resting beside the older. Someone had placed an engraved plate over them. Maybe a calendar of the seasons, maybe parents' prayer. And suddenly, they left. Researchers showed that one group went to the west, towards Europe, and one group went east and discovered a new continent, Americas. But on Malta, the earth was gone, the snow kept falling. Only the children buried stayed there, sleeping under the soil, painted like little gods. If you watch this much, thank you. You can support me for $1 per month. Links are provided. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It will help this channel grow. Thank you. I hope I inspired you. I hope you learned something. If you're listening, you can always check the art on YouTube channel. And if you don't want to watch, only listen, you can listen this on your favorite podcast app.